Alright, in this video we're going to take a look at media queries. So the last video we got introduced to what responsive design and CSS and HTML is and why it's important. And this video we're going to take a look at how to use media queries to create responsive design. Alright, so before we had media queries, CSS2 introduced media types. So we had the media rule introduced in CSS2, which made it possible to define different style rules for different media types. So this was an attempt to make it responsive to different media types, where you could have one set of rules, one set of style rules for computer screens, one for printers, one for handheld devices, one for television type devices, and so on. But unfortunately, these media types never got a lot of support by devices other than the print media type. So you can still use it for print media for, if you want to print a page, but not really, it didn't really quite catch on for phones and tablets and things like that. So that was sort of a fail. But not to worry, CSS3 introduced media queries and this caught on and we still use it today and we use it a lot. Media queries in CSS3 extended the CSS2 media types idea. So instead of looking for a type of device, they looked at the capability of a device. Okay, so media queries can be used to check many things like the width and height of a viewport or the width and height of the device, the orientation, so it's a tablet or the phone in landscape or portrait mode. They can also look at the resolution. So using media queries are a popular technique for delivering a tailored style sheet to desktops, laptops, tablets, phones such as iPhone and Android phones, Samsung, so on. So instead of looking at the device type, we now are looking at the screen size, basically. So let's take a look at the media query syntax. A media query consists of a media type and can contain one or more expressions, which is going to be either true or false. Okay, so this is the media, add media, not only media type and expressions, and then you have the CSS code. Okay, so we'll take a look at a real example in just a minute here, but I just wanted to talk about the media query syntax for a bit first. The result of the query is true if the specified media type matches the type of device that the document is displayed on, okay? And then all the expressions in the media query are true. If all these expressions are true in this bracket here, then the CSS code will apply to it. Okay, so when a media query is true, the corresponding style sheet or style rules that are in here in these curly brackets are then going to be applied following the normal cascading rules. So it's going to overwrite whatever was outside of that before, okay? So let's go to the next slide. So the values here for media types are all. So this could be for all media type devices. It could be for print, only for printers. It could be for a screen, used for computer screens, tablets, smartphones. So this is the one that we're going to be using because we're going to be using it for a screen. It could also be used for speech, used for screen readers that reads the pages out aloud. Okay, so here's our example then at media. Media type is screen and minimum width. If the minimum width is 480, then the body background color should be light green and the font size should be 20 pixels. Okay, so let's go take a look at that. Let's make the body background color light green and the H1 20 pixels. Okay, so I'm just going to escape out of here and I'm going to go over here. So before I open up Atom, I'd like you to show you which files you're supposed to use. So please go into your class files and use your exercise files, okay, if you want to follow along with me, and you should. All right, so open up your your exercise files, and in your exercise files, you're going to find just a very simple page like this, index, okay? All right, so in Atom, I'm going to open that up and it should look like this here. Right, so you have the index.html page already created for you, and you have the style sheet here already created for you. Okay, so you can see that in your index page, I have the meta element here, as we talked about in the previous video. And in the style, I am going to, I have right now just a style, just a regular old style that shows me this here, you know, 2 pink boxes, the header and the section. Okay, so what we want to do, according to our PowerPoint here, is that we want to make the body background color light green when it's smaller than minimum, you know, sorry, when it's bigger than 480. Okay, so the minimum width for it to be is 480. So let's go check that out. Okay, so at screen, oh, sorry, not at screen, at media. Okay, so at media is going to be screen, and min width is 480 pixels. Okay, so min width is 480 pixels. Okay, I'm actually gonna make it, okay, let's change that. I'm actually gonna make it a bit bigger than that, because I don't think I can quite make it go 480 on my screen. I don't think I can make my browser size quite that small. So I'm gonna make it actually 750 pixels. Okay, so let's change that to 750 pixels. I'll change that right now here. So in this case, let's say 750 pixels, and we can make the background color light green and the H1 font size to be 20 pixels. Okay, so there, oh, I have a double at sign there. So in here, my body is the background color. So you can see that's a bit of nested inside the media query is my body. The background color is going to be light green. Okay, and that's one declaration. So it's going to overwrite whatever it was. So right now it's just default is white. And the H1 is going to be, not color, font size is going to be 20 pixels. Okay, according to the PowerPoint here. All right, and make sure that you close the curly brackets, right? Make sure that curly brackets, because this is all, these declarations, these CSS rules are nested inside of this media query. Okay. All right, so next I'm going to go save all. Okay, and I'm going to take a look at here. Oh, but when it gets smaller than 750, so minimum width, so whatever is bigger than 750, okay, is going to have a green background. And then when it is smaller than 750, it no longer has that style applied to it. Okay, you can also do it in terms of max width, right? So you can have the opposite, you know, have this as a default, and then max width. Here, go here, body. So you can have the background color. Okay, background color, light green here. Okay, and you can have the H1 font size 20 pixels here. Okay, and then you can say the max width. So the max width, as long as, you know, it's smaller than, it could be as big as 750, but anything bigger than that is going to be all these styles before that. But up to when it's, you know, 750 big, the backgrounds or the body, okay, background color is white, and the H1 is going to be, font size is 3M. Okay, and I'm going to go save all, so it should have the same effect. Okay, so smaller than 750, so maximum width because this is